Okay, I wanted to do this video because I want to talk about this story that I heard and then read about, and it has really touched me. In fact, it has given me a renewed hope that one day the human race will rise up to its potential to be a more respectful, tolerant, and loving race of beings. Because right now, we are none of that. As far as I'm concerned, we're not even that intelligent. Because if we were, we would be able to fix many of the problems that we have today, and the disputes, and the anger, and the hatred, and the violence, and the destruction, and the wars. But we're not going to get into that, because what I want to tell you about is a young man, 10 years old in fact, from Arkansas, whose name is Will Phillips. And the reason I want to tell you about this 10-year-old young man is because a while back he took the time to analyze his Pledge of Allegiance, and in doing that he came to the end of the Pledge of Allegiance where it says liberty and justice for all. And he came to the conclusion that he could no longer in his class stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance. And so he stopped. And when his teacher asked him why, he told her, because when it says liberty and justice for all at the end, our country's not doing that. And he said, and our country is not doing that because LGBT people are not equal and do not have equal rights. And he said that he will start reciting the Pledge of Allegiance again once every single American within the United States has liberty and justice. And so every second-class citizen, LGBT or otherwise, you have a 10-year-old young man standing up for you and saying that he will not. In fact, this young man even got in trouble because when his teacher told him he had to, he said in his interview on CNN that he politely told his teacher that she could go jump off a bridge, which made me laugh. But I guess what I'm trying to tell you is that if a 10-year-old can stand up and say and point out the fact that the United States of America is wrong in many of the things and the way society is run within our country, then anybody can. This 10-year-old came to the conclusion that at the end when it says liberty and justice for all, that everybody does not have liberty and justice in the United States of America. And once again, he made it clear that it was LGBT people that he was talking about. And he even said in his interview on CNN that LGBT people, gay people, because he knows a lot of gay people, he said, and they're his friends, and he believes that they should be able to get married and that they should be equal. And I just had to tell you this because it just tickled me, because it's a cute story. And that it just shows me that not all society is lost to hatred and stupidity and ignorance, because a 10-year-old boy is making a stand and letting his voice be heard. So I want to make a challenge to you today to stand up and make your voice be heard, just like young Will Phillips has done. Make a stand in your society, or in your town, or in your city. Make a stand within your school and tell your teacher, if she comes at you saying certain things, that she can go jump off a bridge. It's time we follow this young man's example. It's amazing. It's amazing that his teacher even said anything to him. He had to explain to her that he had the right not to say the Pledge of Allegiance if he did not agree with them, and that it is his First Amendment right, and he had to tell his teacher that. It's amazing that young people, as young as 10 years old, are teaching adults about the Constitution, and about the Pledge of Allegiance, and about First Amendment rights. That just shows you where some of our people in our country are at this point, where a 10-year-old has to correct them. But I thought that was a cute little story, and I'm going to put the link to the story in the video, so you go check that out. But like I said, stand up, make your voice be heard, and fight for equality. I'll see you on my next video.